like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back for Valanth League Division 2. My name's Cliff. I am joined today by the amazing Deadly Ghost. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing really good today, Cliff. I'm excited to cast some League of Legends. I hopefully get to see some good games today because this is going to be a hoot and a half.
Oh, and it looks like draft is underway. Cool, I missed that. And yeah, my overlay is definitely broken, and I do not know what's happened to it. So that's cool, that's fun. But looks like we have Aatrox, Ambessa, Zinzao bans. And Karma, Gwen, and Varus banned. Gwen's a good band. Stevo loves that Gwen. That boy will pick Gwen at any moment.
Lucian first pick. Now that's a flex. That could be a flex because we all know that Luna loves to play her AD carries. You know, she is also an AD carry. Well, she is now playing mid lane, but she is an AD carry main. So there's always the possibility of playing an AD carry in the mid lane for her. As on the other side, we're seeing a Vi getting locked in early on. The blind Vi coming in, which I'm a little bit surprised, Cliff, because there are a lot of good picks into Vi right now. She did receive a couple of buffs, but there's still some things like the Wukong and perhaps even a couple of AP threads that can always counter her. So not a big fan of blind picking Vi here.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't think Vi's in the best state. And if you want to secure an AD jungler, there's probably better ones. Xin Pantheon, um, what's the dog? Neferi.
Yeah,
there's a bunch, but maybe the Vi's just comfort. I mean, point and click, unstoppable CC ultimate. The Q is pretty good. The Q flash. But yeah,
yeah,
not sure about the Vi first pick when there are just better options. Wukong, for example, better option in my opinion. Um,
yeah. Yeah, 100% a good dueling champion into the vibe. We see the Sivir actually getting locked in here, so we'll struggle a little bit in lane against the Lucian if there's a Lucian Nami or a Lucian Braum or Lucian Nautilus, something that can hard engage or just keep that Lucian top. However, after a couple of items, that Sivir can really become a big threat, and we do see the Nami getting locked in. So Lucian Nami, not as powerful as it used to be, but still a very solid bot lane here. I've seen a lot in pro play Lucian getting paired up a lot with Braum and Nautilus because now Lucian's passive procs on CC as well. But I think Cat and Kraft are going to opt here for the Lucian Nami, and I think this kind of solidifies the Lucian bot lane.
yeah, definitely Lucia go and bot this game. Civ and Emilio as well. They actually have a pretty good time. Lucian Nami do have a very good time into Civ Emilio. Early on, Civ can get a bit of a shove into you. But if you ever find like one favorable trade as the Lucian Nami, it's really impossible for Civ Emilio to regain any sort of priority without just hard shoving the lane and trying to force you under your tower. Do feel bad for Kraft though, because he's playing with Ket's Lucian on the Nami after Ket played a game with me today and played with my Nami. So Ket's going to be a little bit let down, and I feel sorry for Kraft for that. I'm going to set him up for a
Oof.
bit of failure by hard carrying Ket earlier on Nami. So
I love that, but on to the second ban phase here.
Seraphine.
I think Seraphine, a big pick that Luna has. So I think you know Wizard's best pick, Stevo's best pick, and Luna's best pick have all been banned out here in the Karma, Gwen, and the Seraphine, respectively. The Victor, in response, going to get banned out. So I'm thinking Luna probably has a specific champion in mind that she's going to
Maybe
pick for herself with that Victor
I
ban.
I would say SPX, I believe, have a substitute off-role mid laner today. So it
Mm-hmm.
could just be that they know that he plays this champ, so they want to take him off of comfort as much as possible. The Syndra going as well, so it could be six of one, half a dozen of the other. I
I
know that
see.
Luna does like to cook some stuff up, but yeah, he is. He is off-roll support or off-roll. I don't know what his main role is. I think it's ADC, but he's definitely an off-roll mid
Yes,
laner.
yes.
Sub
I
today.
just checked. I just checked. It is an ADC. So Rumble going to get locked in. So that means that Wizard is going to have his choice of counter pick. I would love to see a Volibear here in the top lane. It would be really good to
Galio's
get.
good as well, actually. Galio
Ooh,
pairs
yeah.
up very
I
well
mean,
with the Wukong too. So
yeah. Instead, we're just going to go for Diorn. Yeah,
okay.
after a couple of the nerfs, Rumble is in a decent spot. You know, not as strong versus tanks as he used to be, but certainly a little bit more of a favorable matchup for the Wizard. And I mean, we all remember the 70,000 solo kills he had on Ornn.
Yeah, and Ornn into an AP top laner means you get to go the most OP item in the game, which is Hollow Radiance first. We're gonna get the blind Lissandra out of Luna. Okay.
I
Okay.
like this, you know, a little bit of a short range mage. However, it has a lot of good win potential, and it does kind of pair up with the hard engage from the Wukong and the Ornn, but it all can also provide a lot of disengage with that route with that ultimate. So I think what Celestial have done here is
Tristana.
get up a really good mix of engage and disengage, and judging by that Tristana who is going into the mid lane, I think they're going to have to use it for disengage quite a bit.
Yeah, I will say that with the Lissandra personally, I'm not overly a big fan of it into Melio. You have to make sure that you hold your role until Melio uses his, or
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 ultimate ulti.
ult the Melio. Which Melio's a great target for Lissandra to be ulting in this game. But realistically, Melio should be behind the Sivir and behind the Tristana, all the way at the back in most circumstances. So Luna needs to be looking for some flanks to get off some decent ultimates this game. I don't particularly dislike it though, I will say. It's just a bit circumstantial. It can be a bit rough. And into Vi Tristana as well, Luna needs to make sure she positions well in this lane, otherwise she's going to get absolutely bullied.
All I'm saying is Archangels could have a lot of potential in this game. Archangel Zonias will have a lot of power here, but also I do want to say, Cliff here, you have Tristana and Vi that kind of like to go in and everything. But Rumble and Sivir don't really want to go in. They kind of just want to whittle you down with those ricochets and the flame spitters and the rockets. It's a little bit of a mishmash comp here. So I'm really, I think what Celestial have drafted is a little bit more clear cut in what they want to do. So Scarlet Phoenix are really gonna have to sell me on this one. Yes, I know that an AD carry swap to mid lane will play an AD carry. That makes sense, but the comp is a little bit of a mishmash.
Yeah, and the good thing about Twilight's comp as well is that they can play going forward, but they can also play just holding their position as well. They've got some great tools in their kits with the Wukong ultimate, the Nami ultimate, the Ornn ultimate, pretty much everything that Lissandra does. They can just play in a space, and finish off the Vi and the Tristana if they overstep too aggressively in the beginning of an engage. And if the Vi Tristana are gone, there's nothing to protect this Sivir Melio. The Rumble is probably going to get rolled over as soon as the Vi Trist goes down. So Vi needs to be very, very particular with her engages, and Tristana needs to be very particular with what engages she follows up on.
Yeah.
I think if I was Twilight, I would actually be playing to get engaged on, because there isn't a lot of poke. Like, what's the poke on SPX's side here? It's like Melio Qs and Sivir Qs?
Yeah, and also, ricochets or Rumble catching you with rockets. So
Yeah.
unless they really want to play off of that, get small trades, a couple of skirmishes to try and get ahead like that, because otherwise, in a full in a full assault, especially with how disruptive the Wukong can be. If uh, if Scarlet Phoenix ever engage on Twilight here, I think Twilight can have a really good answer to whatever that Scarlet Phoenix are going to plan to
Yeah.
do.
I mean, how do SPX get onto an objective if Twilight are there first? How do you ever approach that? Like, oh, just really think about it. Like, this Rumble needs to do so much work. Like, the Rumble ults need to be really good. I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
Vi Rumble is a good combo, but
you really have to have equalizers and not eveners in this game.
oh, definitely for sure. Okay, before we go to a quick break, whilst we're in the spectator delay, name tags off. What draft would you rather play here?
I think uh because of how well it scales, I think I would go for red side. I think red side has a little bit of an easier time in the execution department. I think blue side draft really needs to execute perfectly, but overall I think blue side might be better. But I would still take red side draft.
You take red. I mean, I think I would take blue side every day of the week here. I'm not gonna lie. I think SPX are going to have a very hard time in this game. I think as long as Twilight don't fall behind, and they are good on their timers to get to these objectives, it's going to be very difficult for SPX to play, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to a quick break. I'm going to throw a video up whilst we're in the spectator delay, and we will see you in the game.
I wish I could tell you that I want you here with me, but you'll never love me like the way we used to be. Too far from Saturn, lost in the patterns. Where's the stars align so we could be free? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away.
Wizard?
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back and in game number 1 of Celestial Twilight versus Scarlet Phoenix. It is Scarlet Phoenix,
Yes.
right? I should know this
You are
because
correct.
I literally made the stream title earlier, so it would be a bit stupid.
Yes, it is. It is
is.
Scarlet Phoenix. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was right. Yeah, so into game 1 now. We had a discussion about these drafts already. Where do you think early Prior needs to go in these games?
I mean, this bot lane is going to be volatile either way, so I think both junglers really have to just focus this bot side. Maybe even the mid lane, because Gisha, I hope I pronounced that correctly, will also have a little bit of pressure on to Luna.
Algacia?
Uh,
Algacia? Algacia? Tristana.
Tristana is going to have a lot of pressure into the Lissandra. Sorry for butchering your name, your nickname. It looks really cool though. So yeah, this bot lane is going to be volatile. So I full on expect Stevo to be pathing towards bot lane, which he is. Whereas Castiel here is pathing towards the top side. So we are going to have basically both junglers starting into their blue quadrant, which is going to basically show that in the early game, maybe Scarlet Phoenix want to play a little bit for this rumble or this mid lane. As we already seeing here, Luna is getting jumped on and already lost half her HP bar.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to happen. Level 2 into a Tristana lane. It's very difficult to play that. Craft stepping a bit too far forward and trading a lot of his HP. But yeah, level 2, the second Tristana hits it, it's a very big amount of pressure that Tristana just jumps on you, drops the bomb on you. You can't really trade back. And realistically, it's about just surviving and saving as much of your HP as possible at that point.
Yeah, I like that that Luna went for the oh god, I forgot the name of the rune. The one where it heals you on dealing damage from the red page. Taste of Blood. Taste of Blood. There we go.
Right?
Yeah. Taste of Blood, giving Luna a little bit of health there. So I like that she's using it
Does
to
he
its
have Taste of
full.
Blood?
Yes, she does.
Cheap Shot, Grizzly Mementos, and Ultimate Hunter.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
What is-
I just checked.
Was that actually a level?
Didn't see the kill in the bot side. Sorry, everybody. That's my bad.
Yeah, well, I just looked at it and it was basically Sivir Milio outtrading Lucian Nami.
Forward with the passive proc from the
Yep.
Rumble absolutely destroys Wizard, and this early game is not going well for Twilight.
No. They do have the benefits of ornaments, so you know, as long as they're not 5-6k behind, they should be really good come the later stages of the game. However, right now for the early game, it's going to be really difficult. Must have been a random level up there that I noticed from Luna, which is why she healed up. Because otherwise,
she probably leveled up. Yeah, it probably was her leveling to 2 at the same time. Stevo spotted on a ward potentially walking over here, and then decides to walk back down towards the bot side grab. Hopefully he can secure that. But his top side camps are coming up right now, so Vi's gonna have an advantage on him here.
Yeah, already completed a recall. Stevo hasn't. Simply because of how much Stevo.
Robin tries. Craft's in a lot of damage. The Q flash misses, but Craft's still probably going to go down here. Nice flash from Craft, but beats of Warfare are secured for SPX. A bit of trading back, but Craft was way too far forward. Stevo loses his flash as well. They're fighting all over the map at this point, as everybody is getting involved in all of their individual engagements. And right now, it's a 1.1k gold lead to SPX.
Yeah, and Cliff. A lot of the power for Twilight's side comes from them having their ultimates. So them fighting without their ultimates means that my brain is starting to get foggy. That's, you know, the lightest that I can say. That's a good trade though from the wizard, and yeah, Kraft goes down. Ket already went down, and so that the feed's getting picked up early on. 2 kills for this Sivir means this Sivir is going to snowball like crazy, which should never happen in a Lucian matchup here, because yes, at the early few levels are difficult for Lucian Nami, but after that they should really have the kill pressure and even the trade pressure on everything.
Yeah, and early game hasn't gone well. Obviously, stream, we missed the first kill because I was too busy trying to figure out what runes Luna took. Nice trading here from Ket, but look at the shield that goes down onto the Melio. The spell shield on the Nami bubble, lots of damage traded back, and Ket's nearly taken out completely just from one trade.
Yeah, a couple of ricochets and the boomerang blade means Ket is 20% HP now, so... Yeah, also it doesn't help that both Sivir and Milio are level 5 and Kraft here is level 3.
Horn is blown, Rumble Ult comes down as well. It's a double knockup for Wizard, then he gets the proc off of the passive. Nice flash to kill himself as Rumble manages to get the burn down onto him, and it's a second solo kill for the Rumble.
So, Cliff, you still feeling confident about playing that blue side draft?
Look, man, if I was playing this blue side draft, I wouldn't have been solo killed by a Rumble twice top lane.
True.
It would have been like
Probably.
3 or 4 times by now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was about to say the same thing, but yeah. A Rumble this far ahead and a Sivir this far ahead, you know, champions that can really scale up very nicely. It's really difficult. Props to Luna for keeping it very even in this mid lane in a matchup that really shouldn't be going this well for her. So you know, I have to give credit where credit's due.
It feels very odd for a Celestial Twilight game to be like Luna is the one that's not losing right now. So, or the only one not losing right now, I should say more specifically. Up in CS on the Tristana, let's just tab over to gold really quick again. Look at the difference in this gold in the solo lane, in the top side. 700 gold over to the Rumble, and then bot lane, it's nearly 1,000 gold over to the Sivir. Kind of crazy.
That just means that, well, luckily Lucian builds cheaper items early on, so the 2-item power spike is going to come fairly at the same time for Sivir and the Lucian, but still, it should be this Lucian with the two items over 1.5 items if we're going by Yuntal IE standards versus Essence Reaver and whether it be Quick Blades or Collector.
Oh, Stevo caught on the grubbies here. He has to use the clone to get away, but Vi is already 6 and he isn't. Stevo goes down, it's the 3rd kill to Rumble. Algeciras gets the reset. Luna manages to take the blast cone out, but Stevo going for a set of grubbies that he really had no entitlement to. Bit of an overstep. I just want to correct our support in the chat, by the way, saying that I lose to Shen. Actually, correction, I lose on Shen. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Really,
really
nice root from Luna, but it's a lot of damage that comes down. Luna's just going to die here. Oh no, Luna, why did you turn around and take that trade? You were out.
So why did we caster curse Luna, I wonder? Also, Stevo was wandering around the map for a solid 2 minutes when he has every single camp up here, and he really should have leveled to 6 before trying to even contest these grubbies. And it just feels like Stevo is trying to do so many things on the map but achieving nothing and just losing farm in the process as well. So I really think that Celestial Twilight need to just take a chill pill a little bit, keep their heads down into this game, try to farm up and, you know, gracefully accept that they're going to lose a couple of the early game objectives and hope on the power of the ornaments later on to, you know, just help them carry them through to this late game, because still they have a lot of good ultimates that they can use, and they also have the Lissandra ultimate for a good pick. So it's not, you know, the end of the road for them certainly, but it is going to be a very steep climb.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like heads are gone in this game. Rumble getting a lot of damage down onto the Ornn. Ornn is called, but he's just going to use the dash to try and escape there. Does get away. Yeah, it feels a little bit like heads are gone for Twilight right now. They don't seem to have any real plans. They're trying to just sort of do things on the fly. And obviously, you know, with how behind they are, that they really need to pick and choose the battles that they are going to fight a lot more carefully, as Ket is taking a lot of damage in this bot lane. Dodges away from the Melio Q and gets a little bit of a trade back onto Unti, but look how much damage those boomerang blades do.
Yeah, they are really, really strong here. And I mean, it's a Sivir with Yuntala already. Ket really doesn't even have his first item completed.
Vi's here.
Oh.
Bubble misses. Stevo was here for the cover, so there isn't going to be dive. Good cover from Stevo just to stop the bleeding on this bot side of the map.
Yeah, I mean it's
They are going to drop a plate though.
It's a plate. It's still 3,000 gold, so they're still farming very nicely. You know, across the board, it's almost all evened up in the farm department. So that's at least, you know, a little bit of a silver lining. People are starting to get their items here on Twilight. I believe Ket does have enough gold for his first item. He just needs to recall and buy it. Wizard should also have his Hollow Radiance very, very quickly, and also Luna, I believe, needs this last wave to get to the Malignant. So it's not, like I said, it's not the end of the road. We still have a lot of League of Legends to play for, even in this game, and you know it's there. You know there are comeback mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, if the game stays at this level of a gold difference, once the ornaments start coming through, then this gold doesn't really matter. But 3k up at 12.5 minutes it's a substantial gold lead. It's the kind of position that you want to be in. You're going to be able to force the game going forward from this point if you are SPX. So they're probably very happy with their position in this game. And it doesn't look like
100%.
by the way, it doesn't look like he's going Hollow Radiance first. Is he going?
No, it looks like he's going Kaenic.
Force of Nature?
Yeah. It's Kaenic.
Oh,
I believe
Hollow
he's going
Radiance is
Kaenic.
just so much better, no?
Yeah, it is. Ooh,
Tristana
Luna
jumps
gets engaged on.
Luna's going to be able to dash away. She goes for the all-in instead, doesn't take it, and Luna, you're going to die for that.
Luna has her Malignance now in base, and I feel like if she had her Malignance there, she could have gone as Ket throws. She could have gone for the all-in as Ket throws down the ultimate. Does deal half of Unti's HP bar, but that probably would have been closer to the full HP bar had it not been for Melio shields and heals. But you know, Melio exists for a reason.
You know what I think actually happened in that mid-fight? I think Tristana cancelled the Lissandra E with the Tristana ultimate.
Oh, it could have been.
I didn't know that you could do that, but looking at the cooldown on that Trist ultimate, I didn't actually see him use the Trist ultimate in the fight, so I guess that's the only feasible thing that actually happened. That's the only way that that could be down right now.
Yeah, I think probably Luna got thrown back at the time that she wanted to take it out, and then to take the dash, and it timed out. So yeah, we can always ask in the post game, but yeah, with that death, it's now 3.5k. But you know, 14 minutes into the game, 3.5k, it's a little bit worrying. So I think with this downward trend, it's going to be really, really difficult. I don't think they should be going for this. They have to gracefully accept that this game is.
Oh, Unti caught a little bit there.
Good one though.
Nice trade down onto him, but those Melio shields are big right now. I agree with you though, Ghost. I feel like they're standing around watching SPX do the dragon. They could have gotten some mid prio. Stevo could have gotten an invade off on the Raptors. They could have clawed something back instead of just standing there and watching SPX take the dragon. Nice trade on the bot side. Unti taken very low, and you know, despite the 2 kills that Unti has and the 1k gold lead that he's got after over Ket, now that this Essence Reaver is completed, the Lucian is doing a lot. It's boots 2 to boots tier 1, But the Lucian is doing a look at that damage down onto the Melio. The ultimate comes out as well and forces the Melio flash. Takes a couple of tower shots for it, so now has to recall himself. But they do have this wave under the tower. It looks like he may overstay a little bit here and try and play for the tower. But, you know, it looks like it's turning around in the spot side. That's a nice bubble as well.
Yeah, so this is probably the thing that they were hoping to happen in the early game. However, it wasn't online yet. And Wizard, I think he went for the Kane Kruken because he knew that he was really behind, so he had to go for a little bit more of a defensive option. But I think the smart thing now would be actually, Cliff, to go for plated steel caps and go into armor, because you have 3 auto attackers there that really want to fight you, and you are the biggest frontliner. You are going to be, you know, the one on the front lines trying to hold the fort down for everyone else on your team. So the smart thing for Wizard now would be to go plated steel caps into a big armor item, preferably Frozen Heart, and try to take it from there. Or maybe even I forgot the name of the item. The other one, the anti-crit item.
Randuin's Omen.
Yes, Randuin's.
So, Twilight do pick up their technically first neutral objective by securing that first tower in the bot side. So perfect game isn't on the cards anymore. SPX were on the way to a perfect game, but losing that first tower does take the perfect game away from them. And they get a nice gold injection as well, because they have the tower bounties available for themselves. So this should do something to help Celestial Twilight. The gold lead is still 2.5k now. And Ket should have a safety of having the tower behind him and being able to create a long lane. Nice bubble hits on the Melio here, but Ket's not going to go for it. Does trade on to the Sivir instead. Not for a lot, though. Oh,
yeah,
Luna's
I
in
think
trouble. Look at these Tristana auto attacks with the red buff. Luna steps very far forward, has to ult herself. Here comes Wukong, has a red buff himself, not going to be able to find anything. It was a good jump out by Al Jazeera.
Courageous Giga Guard.
Yeah, did you just call him Al Jazeera?
I did just call him Al Jazeera.
Yeah, that was a good jump there, and we're seeing it, Cliff, that this gold lead has shrunk down a little bit to below 3k. Ooh, that's a nice engage.
Stevo's going to manage to find the shutdown onto the Tristana, and now Vi's in trouble as well. Q flash to pick up Luna, and now the 1v1 against the Wukong. I don't know if you win this because of Wukong's stacking armor passive. Wizard finds a good engage on the top side as well. It looks like he's going to get the solo kill on the Rumble. No, he's not. He's going to get traded back around. Stevo doesn't find the kill in the mid lane, and Rumble finds a very good solo kill on the top. Looked like that one was going over to the Ornn, but no, Rumble did pick that one up.
Equalizer is always there to finish the job, and it certainly is the equalizer and not the evener in this game. The masks in Tauga's inventory helping out quite a bit, but yeah, it's still a 3,000 gold deficit. And Cliff, it is like you said. You know, Wizard is level 12, now is going to hit level 13 very soon. And ornaments are going to start to come in very, very quickly. So if Twilight can keep this gold deficit at 3,000, it's not going to matter too much once the ornaments come in, because, you know, one ornament is about 1,000 to 1,200 gold in stats. And so that means that with a 3,000 gold deficit, you know, at level 18, they're actually going to be ahead in gold.
Yeah, I believe the worst gold value ornaments now are 1,000 gold exactly. So with 5 of them, the gold, they would be, technically speaking, ahead of gold in terms of item efficiency.
Yeah.
Obviously behind in gold on the scoreboard, but ornaments They are very handy once they start coming in. They do a lot of work for you. Rumble is proxy farming, and Wizard is contesting it. Gets a knock-up. It gets the full dose of the W down, but it looks like Kraft is caught in the mid lane here. Has to blow heal. Ket is gone very low. Nice Q forward from the Vi to pick him up, and it looked like Kraft got caught and Ket got punished for it.
Yeah, it almost looked like Unti was going to go down from that ultimate from Kraft. However, he took one step back and then that VIQ hit, which meant Ket is now taken down once again. And the thing that we were talking about them, you know, keeping their head down, they're not doing it. They're trying to be a little bit more aggressive, and Luna is also in danger of going down here as Stevo is trying to contest this Drake.
Stevo looking for the steal. He's in the back of the pit. They're going to hold it on 2k here. They're letting it get a bit too low, and it gets very close. Stevo almost securing that one. Good smite in the end by Castile.
Yeah, Stevo loses that 50-50, but you know, you kind of had to go for it there. Gets out unscathed, doesn't even have to burn the flash there, so...
I can't believe they let that be a 50-50, if I'm being honest.
Real.
Why are SPX just not all inning him? Why are they letting it be a 50-50? Ket was in base at the time.
Yeah, Ket was in base. There were 4 members on the map. Luna, you know, was really chunked out there, so she couldn't really be here as well. So that was, yeah. But still, it's now soul point for the side of SPX. They have a 5,000 gold lead now after taking down a couple more of those tier 1s. And Cliff, I think this is the stage of the game where we start to get a little bit worried for Twilight.
Yeah, definitely if you're here supporting Twilight, this is the kind of time where it's not looking good. Stevo manages to find the media, but the Q just pushes him away, and you know, they're so far ahead. The wallet diff is so big at this point, and that the early game of Celestial Twilight was so bad that, you know, these double ADC comp is just scaled into the game, and there doesn't seem to be much they can do about it. Luna's just getting chunked out by the Tristana E's on the tower. There is a flank.
Yeah, I mean,
Tristana jumps away. He's gonna go all in for Luna, but Ket arrives. The ult comes out, and Luna picks up a kill. There's a triple knock up on the top side as well. Can Agot go down? No, the Melio W and all the shields come out to keep him alive. Stevo goes too far forward on the Wukong and gets collected. A 5th kill over to this Rumble, and it looks like SPX are going to start up the Atakan.
If the Melio wasn't there, that would have been a double for Stevo easily there. The Melio heal comes out, the Melio W and the ultimates come out, so you have Talga surviving for so long there, as well as the Vi. So
I believe I believe the Rumble is Ago, but he is has his name reversed.
Ago.
Ket is going to get picked up here by the Rumble. A 6th kill for this Rumble. 6-0-0. He is very strong right now. Has these double masks and he's well on the way to the Zhonya's. And once that Zhonya's is completed, even if you do catch him out, he's got that lifeline. It's going to be very difficult to deal with this Rumble. I mean, it looks like Wizard is going for a Sunfire Cape second item, just completely avoiding the Hollow Radiance. And you know, if he's ever going to, yeah, it is the Sunfire. If he's ever going to survive on this side lane, I really feel like he should have just gone for this Hollow Radiance first.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the Kanik Rooken upgrade, at least, so that means he's getting about 110 MR, or was it something like that? From just one item.
The whole camp. Oh, that's got to feel bad for Stevo.
Yep.
Wizard
but
is,
yeah,
very far forward. Castile misses the Q, but it looks like they're going to try and force down this tier 2 here. It's already below half health, and Twilight have to answer this. They're sending 2 members to come and help Wizard. He does get a nice knock up onto the Rumble, but that W shield on the Rumble is just so oppressive. Ket finds the Vi, but he's not going to get much done here. It was a good engage. And Wizard is also going to... Oh, Wizard does pick up the Vi, but down goes Nami. It's all going wrong on this top side of the map. They do manage to find the Tristana on the top side, but the fight on the bot side goes 2 for 1 with Ket and Kraft being picked up. And this gold lead keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean,
Soul point is
it's
coming up in 50 seconds as well. This is
Yeah,
bad for
50
Twilight.
at least Twilight are going to have most of their ultimates. Flash there were a couple of there was the Tristan ultimate used there. So I think outside of exhaust and heal, almost all summoners on the map will be up. Wait, Wizard's Flash is also down as well. So in 25 seconds we're going to see a massive fight for the soul here, and I think almost all ultimates will be up as well. So this could be the fight that either breaks the game for Celestial Twilight or gives them a shot at a comeback. However, they are going to be seen here because of a ward that's in the jungle, and now they really have to know they're here. But
The
that's a
bubble
nice
misses, but
catch.
the engage comes in. Rumble gets shut down and blown up immediately. Spell shield used from Sivir. The second ult goes up onto the Vi here. Look at the damage from the ricochets on the backline though. Craft and Cat have to escape. Luna goes in and is immediately blown up. Ket doing a lot here, trying to survive. Gets the double kill off of 1Q. The trade, it's so good for Ket. Picks up 2 kills for his own life. And they do have to run because this is a Fed Tristana, and the Vi is also very strong. Does still have the cease and assist, so they have to play with this one very carefully. Wizard's going to step forward. He's the man that has to do it. Does find them here. Gets a knock up onto the Tristana. Sneevo goes in. Vi ults the clone. Tristana gets picked up and knocked up. And here, Celestial Twilight somehow out of nowhere with a 5k gold deficit. Find the fight of dreams. A bit of some solo mastery coming out of Ket there, picking up the double kill. And Vi wasting the ult on the Wukong clone. They are going to take the Drake as well and stop this stacking. And what a fight from Celestial Twilight in the end.
My god, that was a fight of all time from the side of SPX. But also, you really knew where they were. You had people in the red, in the brush on the wall in the river. You had 2 wards in the brushes in the red side jungle. So you had to have known that they were setting up a Fnatic brush. You had to have known that. As SPX, they don't expect it, and so they catch the rumble there. They catch the Vi is they catch the Milio and the Sivir, and then Ket jumps in after using that ultimate beautifully. Every single shot hitting there, and then just bursting out everyone, and the double kill on the piercing light actually saves the fight there. And then Wizard with that massive ultimate and with that quick reaction on the Unstoppable just catches both Castiel and Allegacia, and then that was a perfect fight. And now they get the Drake. They bought themselves 5 more minutes, and now it went from a 5.5k deficit to a 2k deficit, and the ornaments are coming in, Cliff. And now this means the Twilight are back in the game.
Root comes out onto Vi to save. Vi kind of face checks here, gets picked up by Wukong, stunned up by the Lissandra. Rumble as well is in a lot of trouble, has to flash over the wall. There's a lot of shields coming down. Tristana is taking a lot of damage on this bot side to the Ornn. And it's a nice pick onto the Vi. Good turn from Luna and Stevo there.
Ooh, Wizard is trading very nicely. That Sunfire and that Warden's Mail and the plated steel caps, which he went for, are doing a lot of work. And now they're going to be starting up the Baron because this Tristana had to back up. This Vi is still dead, but I think this is so risky.
They get the Tristana teleport out of it, so at the end of the day, they don't lose anything. Was it Rumble's TP? It was Rumble's TP. So they get Rumble's TP out of it. So at the end of the day, not a bad trade. Definitely the right idea to pull off of the Baron, because staying on there would have been definitely a recipe for disaster, despite the Vi being down. Wizard was still in the bot side, not with a teleporter himself. Stevo finds the Rumble again, just walking into a bush. The Zhonya's comes out. He's going to get rooted up, bubbled up, and immediately blown up by Wizard in the end. And it's another pick onto this Rumble. He was doing so well in the early game, 6-0 and 0, and now it's back-to-back 2 deaths because he wanted to face check some bushes.
mean, this Vi Wukong combo, sorry, this Lissandra Wukong combo for Twilight is picking off champions left and right, and this Rumble dying means that SPX are going to start losing some side lane pressure there, because if they keep getting caught out like this in the side lanes, whether it be the Tristana or the Rumble, you can't really side lane properly. And I think Stevo has done a really good job here of just letting Luna try and fish out something, or being the one to scout out something with the clone there, with that dash, and try to go for a pick. And not only did they get the kill on the Rumble, they also blow out the Zhonya's there, which next time he won't be able to use it. Oh, another catch!
Look at the damage onto the Sivir. That's flash and barrier blown for just the Wukong ult in the end. Wukong ult and smite, and that is both the summoners off of this Sivir. And now Sivir is going to be a sitting duck anytime they fight again. Do agree with what? Oh, it's a nice culling coming down. Nearly 100 to 0 to the Melio, and nearly takes out the Sivir as well. And Ket is definitely online. The flash is blown from the Vi. Ket flashes forward with the Q. He does manage to get it. Cease and desist comes down onto him, but Vi is now stuck between 4 members and eventually goes down to Stevo. Luna is looking maybe a bit too far forward here. Luna. Fucking hell, Luna.
Yeah, your co-owner gave you a coughing attack, if not a heart attack there. Yeah, Luna going way too far forward, as seemingly so does Wizard here, but yeah. Still, a nice couple of catches, a nice couple of kills. Fnatic Brush won't happen again, folks. You really need to go for that Drake. And there you go. You scouted out. The Vi is still dead for 10 seconds, so you really have to go for this Drake if you want to do it right now. Otherwise, this Tristana is going to go on you and do a lot of damage. However, there is a TP coming in from Wizard, who has completed now his Randu and Zoman, so a smart build here from Wizard, you know. Oh, that's a nice engage.
Tristana is found, knocked up, double knocked up, triple knocked up. The Melio healing and shielding comes in to absolutely save the day. But that's splashdown on the Tristana now as well. And both of these carries have no summoner spells that are going to save them to try and fight around this dragon. It looks like Celestial Twilight are going to pick this one up for free. SPX going to trade it over for the Baron, or are they going to try and contest it? Looks like they're going to try and contest it, but it is going to go down way too quickly.
But it's also scouted out because Twilight do have a ward here, and if
the Sivir ult comes out, they are looking for this fight, but I think it might be a too little too late. They may be able to pick off a straggler. Good bubble. Tristana jumps in, but they're just hitting the Ornn, and Ornn is going to be absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, note only last whispers there, so not enough armor pen for it to really matter for Wizard, who now has given over three ornaments. So this gold lead being 1k, it's already meaningless in terms of items, but with the ornaments coming in, an effective item value, they are really in a SPX really in a deficiency, and there's also a blue trinket to scout out everything that they want to do. So this Baron start is scouted out from the side of Twilight, and they're going to look to catch it. Luna is clearing out wards, which she really shouldn't be getting.
Stevo! And it's a big ultimate coming down from Ket as well. Agot is going to get chased out. Ket and Craft are kind of stuck. The cease and desist comes in. Luna finally arrives, blows up the Sivir. Nice. Vi manages to pick up the Nami on the backside. Rumble goes down to Wukong. Ket is still alive though, and he cleans up this fight. And what should have been just a Baron pickup ends up in a Baron over for Celestial Twilight, and a great fight in the end. What a steal from Stevo.
Cliptic can end the game here. That's 30-second death timers on everything. What a comeback the Twilight have mounted there, being 5k gold down 16 minutes into the game, and now 34 minutes into the game, we're even in kills after being 14 to 2. We are 5k gold up, we have ornaments, we have a Baron stolen from Stevo, and we're going to end the game and take game 1 here. And I have to say, props to Celestial Twilight for not giving up. You know, we did say they need to get some picks there, keep their heads down, and that's exactly what they did come 15 minutes into the game. And I mean, those picks from Stevo and from Luna were really key there. Ket had a really great team fight presence, and Wizards ultimates were really great in those, especially those last fights. But I do have to say, if I'm giving MVP to one of the people in this game, it's probably going to go to Steve or Luna for those amazing picks.
Yeah, I think personally, I would be giving it over to Stevo. A lot of the good stuff that happened around the end of that game did really happen around Stevo. I think he was very impressive, found a lot of picks. You know, eventually, once he got rolling into this game, it felt like he was everywhere. You know, very, very hard to play against. And yeah, he played very well.
Yeah, 100%. After a few of those early game mishap, I think the only really mishap that Stevo had was at those grubbies going in level 5 versus level 6 to try and contest them. After that, he really stepped up and carried Twilight. I mean, I do have to say those Lissandra ultimates in the mid to late game were really good from Luna as well.
For sure. I'm not sure if you knew the circumstances of what happens into the group going into this game, Ghost, but with that singular game win, Celestial Twilight have actually secured first seed in their group in Division 2. They could lose the next 2 games. They could lose now 2 games in a row to Scarlet Phoenix, and they still have first seed secured. So that is first seed secured for them out of their group. We're going to head over to a quick break, and we'll be right back with Game 2.
Coming like a Hellcat. Coming like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat.
ladies and gentlemen, and we are back with the draft for Game 2 with Celestial Twilight leading Scarlet Phoenix 1-0. Scarlet Phoenix, Silver Phoenix, I can't remember. SPX
Scarlet.
opting to pick red side for Game 2, so everybody's staying where they are. But it does look like they have brought back Forby, their starting mid laner, into the game and taking out Algacira, who played Tristana last game. Played quite well, I think, but it'd be nice for them to have their starting mid laner back in, and yeah.
Ooh,
It's a Zeri.
they already have. Okay, quickly going over. Xin Mel Nautilus ban, so that's standard. Mel being one of 4B's best champions. SPX keeping the same bans, and they love going for this blind jungle here, and it's really interesting for me to see. Which, I mean, it kind of works. If you're blinding a jungle, you have to make it a really good one. Which I think Sejuani is a much better option than the Vi.
Doesn't Sejuani set you up for a bit of Troll Town, though? Isn't Trundle just good here already?
I mean, even against the Ambessa, Trundle can really do a lot of damage.
I'm not sure if Steve-O particularly plays it. I'm not sure if Wizard plays it either. But again, they first pick the ADC. They take the Zeri this time, Lucian last game. And I don't know why Ket's doing this to himself, because he's playing the champions with Craft that he played with me earlier. And we were absolutely destroying people earlier, and now he's just setting himself up for disappointment. The Volley Bear comes in. This could go either top or jungle. I think it's most likely to be jungle, though.
I love a good Volibear jungle. And the Poppy. Okay, so we're going into Flex Town here. Poppy is an old school antidote into the Ambessa, so this could just be a Poppy top lane, Volibear jungle angle, and I don't really hate it from Twilight. Poppy is the original counter to what Ambessa really wants to do, though. But Ambessa still has 70,000 dashes here.
Yeah, a lot of dashes on the Ambessa. Poppy is also good into the Sejuani, though, as you can stop the Arctic Assault. I think I know that one. The
You're
Sejuani
correct.
Q. You can stop that with the... I knew the name of Poppy's W, but now I don't remember it. Steadfast Presence?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I'm getting good at this whole casting thing, aren't I? You can stop the charges, and they've brought a Corki in as well, so the Poppy value is just ever increasing this game on the side of Celestial Twilight.
Okay, give me the name of Corky's Q.
Phosphorus Bomb.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. And the E is Gatling Gun?
Yes, sir.
I know some of these. Probably only some of them on the champions that I play. I couldn't tell you the name of any of Ambessa's abilities apart from the ultimate. The ultimate's the best one.
Hell yeah,
It has the best name, and it's the only one I remember.
Name all of it.
Go on. Name all of what?
Name all of Aphelios's guns and the abilities that come with it.
Yeah, no. Philios is for people with ADHD and too much time on their hands. And I am
And
neither
Luna.
of those things. Yeah, like I said, people with too much time on their hands. Let's see.
Flaming Twilight left and right.
Cassiopeia Leona bands coming out from Celestial Twilight, and Lulu Braum bands coming out. I do like the Lulu ban. Lulu's area is once it gets going, Lulu's area is very difficult to deal with, and there aren't a lot of amazing enchanters left to pair the Zeri up with. You already have the two frontline options for the Zeri. And it looks like we're going for a Corki Thresh bot lane as well. So it's very difficult to play Zeri in this game because you can't just get stat checked by this Corki at any moment. If Thresh ever hits you with a Q, you probably just die. It's going to be difficult for Kraft to find a pick here that actually helps out much. The Seraphine is open this game, so we could see the Seraphine. Now that could go mid, it could go support. I think it's more likely to go mid.
Yeah, I think we could just take a look at maybe not a Nautilus, a Blitzcrank, or maybe a Janna here as an enchanter to help out this Zeri here. Otherwise, it could just be the Poppy support to try and do some weird things, but they are waiting until the last second Twilight here. You know, a little bit of shock value. It's going to be the Renata, which I don't hate.
Not big fan of this champion. There's another Renata player within the Celestial org that's been hard carrying their team. So hopefully Kraft can live up to the legend that is Pykia. I doubt it. Pykia was absolutely godlike on the Renata on Monday. Kraft would have to do a lot of work, and it looks like the last pick's going to come in as a Kassadin. That lane's going to be rough early for the Kassadin.
Yeah. You know what would be really funny? Booger Seraphine in this Kassadin lane.
Booger Seraphine.
Mm-hmm.
Explain Booger Seraphine to me, because I'm not sure I get that one.
You just go grasp of the Undying.
Yeah. I guess you could go grasp. Not as good anymore on the range supports now. On the range champions though, is it? I think,
No.
Didn't it got nerfed on for ranged a few patches ago?
Yeah, it also got nerfed a little bit this patch, but yeah, it's still decent enough. I don't think Luna is going to go for it. I think she's just going to go for the classic of Airy. Maybe go for the what was it? No,
Comet?
actually, Dark Harvest. Comet probably. Dark Harvest isn't really good on Seraphine. I think it's just Airy, especially with how supportive Luna likes to go in her builds. And to be honest, between the Voldabear, the Poppy, and the Zeri, Luna has a lot of carries on her team as well. You know, Voldabear, while being a tank, really does a lot of damage. Poppy has percentage HP damage on her Q, so there's still some damage here. And the only really problematic lane that I'm seeing here could be this bot lane, because everyone else can really farm safely.
Yeah, the bot lane of Celestial Twilight definitely going to need to be playing safer in the early game. Zeri obviously a champion that scales extremely well into the late game, but the early game is honestly catastrophic. And when you're paired against the Corki, who is, like I said earlier, this stat checking ADC. He has a lot of pressure early game. He has a really good mid game. His late game isn't bad either. You ever find yourself in a one-on-one situation with the Corki, and the Corki probably wins. So Ket needs to play the game, at least the early game, a lot safer than he played last game. But if he can scale into the mid to late on this Zeri with the champions that he has around him, it should be very difficult for him to make a big enough mistake for it to matter.
Yeah, I mean 100%. You have this Poppy that can stop at least. But actually, no. Poppy stops every champion on the enemy squad.
He doesn't stop public execution.
No, but it stops every single other Ambassa ability.
Yeah. But if the public execution lands on Ket at the back, the Ambassador will just dash to Ket. I mean, obviously, Poppy can then deal with you once the Ambassador is back there, but pretty much everything else is Kassadin ult not a blink?
Technically, is a blink. I don't know the interaction.
I believe Poppy W only works on dashes, so as it's a blink, I don't think it will ground the Kassadin. But I'm not 100% sure. It'll be interesting to see during this game.
Okay, if I remember it correctly, you can ult in as Kassadin when inside Poppy W. You can't ult while inside Poppy W.
I see. Okay. All right, we'll do the same as we did last game, Ghost. Nameplates off. What draft would you rather play here?
I'm playing this blue side draft.
Yeah, I can understand that. See, personally, I'd like to play the red side draft, but I wouldn't like to be playing the Anbessa into the Poppy. But I do think the red side draft is really nice. It scales really well. They have their early game bridges in the Corki and the Sejuani, and basically the late game guarantee. You know, if it goes to 6 items, level 18, this Kassadin should just one-shot the Zeri, and there really shouldn't be anything that anybody can do about it. So, you know, Celestial Twilight on a little bit of a timer here, I would say. I think I'd rather play the red side draft.
I think red side draft really has a little bit of inevitability to them.
The mid
You
game's
know,
hard,
level the mid game is going to be really hard, but also
Yeah.
Volibear just scales up into this amazing tank. If the Seraphine goes for, you know, if Luna goes for the regular build that she's been going for, which is Malignance into
I think it's like full
into
enchanter,
shield.
like Moonstone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Echoes
It
Moonstone
could
or
just
something.
Echoes Helia, I believe.
Yeah, sorry, Echoes into Moonstone after the
Ah, yeah,
Malignance. Yeah.
Yeah. It could be, it could just be, you know, enough of enough of a shield for this Zeri to survive. And also, if all else fails, you can always rely on Wizard just poppycoptering one of the threads back towards the base and creating a numbers disadvantage.
That you certainly can. Right, so we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to pull up a video, and we'll be right back with you when we get into Game 2.
I wish I could tell you that I want you here with me, but you'll never love me like the way we used to be. Too far from Saturn, lost in the patterns. Where's the stars align so we could be free? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. No, we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away. Yeah, we're on, it, it don't ever be enough. No, we're gone.
There. Wizard?
I got.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back with game number 2 of this series between Celestial Twilight and Scarlet Phoenix. Ghost, we spoke about these drafts earlier. What do you think the game plan should be early game for these junglers?
I mean, if I'm Stevo here, I really want to play towards Luna. I really want to get this Seraphine ahead. I want to put this Kassadin as far behind as I want to as... Ooh, that's going to be a nice scout. Yeah, they're going to scout out 4B here. I want to put this Kassadin as much as possible. You know, get to... his level 16 power spike needs to get put down so much. So, and I think... you also really need to play around this bot side a little bit just to try and be there for a couple of counter ganks, because Voldebear really has some great dueling power even in the early game. Once you get to level 3, you know, you already have the shield from the healing from that W, and Stevo went for the lethal tempo, which I really like. It has become a little bit of the norm here, since Phase Rush has kind of fallen out of favor for most Poppy players here, as we are going to see a little bit of trading there in the top lane.
Yeah, so early on this matchup top side, not very playable for Poppy, but once she starts getting levels in her abilities, it's increasingly more difficult for the Ambassador to play. Obviously the Q does have double percent health damage on the first part and the second part of the Q, so trades a lot of damage down, especially at level 1 against this Poppy, and you can see the CS in the top lane already, a big wave building up here topside.
Yeah,
Handshake
it is going to get built up.
connects. Hill has to come out. It's a nice play as well. And there's already one summoner down on this bot side. The play continues, but looks like nothing's going to come from it. But there you go. Hill blown already.
Yeah, and this is going to become a recurring problem there, because once you hit a couple of hooks there and you force out summoner spells, it's going to be much easier for the next time you hit a hook. And what's really problematic here is that this Renata is not the most tanky of champions in the early game, so Kraft really needs to be careful there about, you know, walking up and trying to poke or getting a handshake. And I will say though, Luna is really playing to her strengths fairly nicely, trying to poke out this Kassadin, going for a lot of this early, early game CS, even building up a CS lead here for herself, which I really like, because this is what you're supposed to do. Goes back for the early tier, which I'm sure she's going to use to get as many spells as possible in and try to poke out the Kassadin, which is ultimately the goal here, because you have to put the Kassadin down, or at least behind.
Yeah, Wizard out of mana in this top side. 90% slow comes down out of the Ambassador, and it's a lot of damage down onto the Poppy. The wave is pushing towards Wizard right now, so maybe he could get away with the base TP, but being out of mana in the lane against the Ambassador is not a fun situation to find yourself in.
No, it really isn't. There's a ward scouting out Stevo, who was walking towards this top lane. Meanwhile, 4B here stayed in lane and is getting cooked by the Seraphine poke here. Luna making use of that tier, but Luna also went for triple pots here, and
why?
and me Clifford.
Luna, fire refillable. That is gross. 3 health potions?
I want. My brain no good no more, Cliff.
I don't get it. Wizard is trapped up here. He cannot leave. He cannot get the wave pushed out. Nabessa obviously an energy champion, so and has methods to regain her energy faster by interlacing auto attacks down in her combo, so it's very difficult for you to actually get the push out against the Ambessa when you're playing on this Poppy with no mana. And you know, Poppy's very mana hungry champion, especially in the early game, and especially if you don't go for a tier item like your Fimbulwinters, which I'd expect to see this game from Wizard, just to make sure that you can sustain a push. Ult comes out from the Kassadin and it's big trades back. A second ult comes in, doesn't connect with the second charge, however, though. But it is level 6 to Luna's level 5, and Luna, having missed a little bit of XP here, is in a bit of a rough spot now.
Yeah, Wizard really needs. Ooh, that's a nice steadfast presence here from Wizard, but Wizard really needs to catch this wave and even try to push out. He is probably going to go for a base TP now that he has the wave pushed out from under his turret. So, you know, at least something happens here. Ooh,
What is it? Fight on the bot side. Nice handshake. Falls to the thresh away. Corki dashes forward. He's going to get a lot done. Ignite comes down onto the Zeri as well, and it's Ignite blown in the end. A big health trade over onto the Zeri, but nothing much traded out. Seraphine and Volibear in a bit of a difficult situation here. Ult comes out onto the Corki. Corki manages to dash away. The charm comes out really well. Corki has to flash over the back of this fight. Seraphine's going to get chased down by the Kassadin. There isn't really anything he can do here. The flash forward from the Kassadin just to secure this kill. Picks up First Blood onto the Kassadin, and that's not a great sign if you're here supporting Celestial Twilight. 4B is going to get found though. Dashes forward. The heal and the barrier have to come out just to save Ket, and Craft picks up the return kill onto the Kassadin. Lots of summoners blown, but 300 gold down, and a Rod of Ages well on the way for the Kassadin now. It's a very scary prospect. Nice stun here on the top side.
yeah, I think Wizard now, after getting this tier, has really stepped into his element. Has you know, gotten you know, also gotten a couple of levels in the queue, so now he can trade more reliably into this Ambessa. But the real problem that I see here is Ket has not recalled yet, and another big problem is Luna hit a 4-man ultimate, which was lovely. However, they left her alone to deal with the Kassadin, and Kassadin loves isolated targets.
Yeah, Celestial Twilight having a comp where you can't really be flanking unless you're Volibear or Poppy. Anybody else on a weak side of the fight is just going to get chased down by this Kassadin. Hook comes through, does land onto Ket. They're not going to be able to follow up much, and Phosphorus Bomb does come down and more rockets are hitting, and Ket is very low here. Big Bomb might be enough to finish him off, but they are going to get this recall now.
It is enough to finish him off. Luckily, that one doesn't hit there, and Ket is lucky to be getting out with his life there. Is actually going to go for the cull, which I really love here on Zeri. You are a farm champion, you really want to farm up here. Yes, you are currently 15 CS down, but who cares? You're still a farm champion, and you are surviving an early game against a Corki that really loves to poke out and stat check you, like you said. And with that assist already,
looking for a gank on the top side. Nice stun, and then Stevo sidesteps to public execution as well. Ambessa has to flash, tries to dash away but gets grounded. Maybe going to look to trade a kill over onto Wizard here, but it's not going to get it. Wizard picks up a kill with the second part of his Q. A nice hook onto Craft on the bot side as Craft has stepped way too far forward. Good handshake though, buys Craft some time, and the Berserk comes out. They're going to hit each other. But here comes Kassadin, he's coming down from the top side. Sejuani's going to get the stun. There's the stun, there's the hook, and bye-bye, Zeri. You're a kill over to Kassadin. 2 kills now onto this Kassadin. Tier is stacking up. He's going to be even closer to Rod of Ages now.
That is not the thing you want to see as Twilight, because they might be a little bit ahead in this early game, but the big problem is if this Cassidin gets rolling as looking at it here, what the combo really pokes out Luna quite a bit. I do believe this Cassidin. Okay, so we are E-maxing as well, so the Q really isn't doing too much. The E going for that extra bit of AoE, which I don't hate here on Cassidin. So I mean, 4B is really starting to stack up here, and this is going to become a problem. Already has the Rod of Ages and TP's back to lane, as Luna here is in some serious trouble.
Yeah, Cassidin just gets to jump onto this Seraphine. Seraphine not really a champion that can punish a Cassidin on its own. I mean, the original concept of Cassidin was that he was the mage killer. And Seraphine isn't even much of a mage herself, more of an enchanter, so it's going to be very difficult for this Seraphine to play. That previous kill on the bot side as well, very disrespectful in my opinion of the bot side of Celestial Twilight to step up so far with the fight going on the top side and Sejuani not showing. There was really nowhere else the Sedge could be.
Yeah, definitely agreeing with you there. I think if they had Stevo there, they probably could have gone, for the counter gank and tried to make it a 3v3 scenario. However, they knew Stevo was top lane, they knew he was ganking this Ambessa, and yeah, it's really difficult here. Luna is going to get the heal in, but okay,
the Sejuani ult comes down, and that's going to be Beats of Warfare claimed solely by Cassidin. This early game hasn't gone well. The Cassidin is very much online, up in CS in the mid lane as well. Not what you would expect from the Cassidin. Obviously, Seraphine isn't too much of a bully, and Wizard may be in a bit of a sticky situation here. He's going to get rooted up, he's going to get stunned up. Finds a good stun onto the wall, onto the Ambassador, and deals a lot of damage before he goes, and actually solo kills the Ambassador and walks away scot-free. Wow, very impressive from Wizard.
Wow. Now this is what we've come to expect from Wizard here, get solo kills in unfavorable matchups, getting a lot of damage done here. Now a goat has the Eclipse there, as Stevo is stealing red buff from under Castiel's nose.
Junglers farming next to each other, completely oblivious to where they both are. Stevo's gone for the Raptors now as well. Nice smite still from the Sejuani. Probably doesn't want to take this fight. Forby's going to dash forward. Root misses from the Seraphine. And Bess is walking down too, and Poppy's not going to be able to get here in time. This is a bit of a problem. It's a lot of damage coming down from the Ambessa. Flash forward, public execution comes out onto Stevo. Stevo is very low. The three-man charm is really good, but it's not enough. Double root comes down. Sejuani's going to get picked up, but the Cassidin is pretty much untouched here. There's a double kill over to the Poppy, and now Cassidin, you need to run. Stunned into the wall by the Poppy. Oh, and he gets over, but it's a triple kill to Wizard.
I'm sorry. What?
He's
Huh?
quite low.
Are we seeing a repeat from last game, Cliff? Except, nameplates are switched off?
Is
You know,
this actually
switch
a
it up.
rumble? Is this a rumble in disguise?
What is...
How has he done
Wizard...
that?
I mean, I've played my fair share of Poppy games, and I've gotten fed like this. However, that back then I was playing, Sheen Poppy with like Triforce or Iceborne Gauntlet, giving you something that can give you a lot of AD. However, the one gank from Stevo in the top lane just means that Stevo has managed to become an amazing tank, and this is only going to get much worse because now he's going to finish up the Sunfire here. He's going to finish his Winter's Approach very soon, and once that becomes a Fimbulwinter, every single Q that hits is going to give him another shield. Every single W proc is going to give him a shield. Every single E is going to give him a shield. And this Poppy is already going to be tanky enough in the head of the curve from everyone else. Add a bunch of shields on top of that, that's going to be very difficult. And it doesn't really matter that this Kassadin is stacking, because this Seraphine is still equal on farm, she's still equal on levels, and Seraphine ult is still going to be extremely useful, like we saw in that fight. Triple ultimate, you know, extended Stevo's life, allowed Wizards to deal a lot of damage.
Definitely did, and you know, we knew this top side was gonna be Poppy favored. I didn't expect it to be so Poppy favored. I didn't expect the Poppy to pop off so hard. First items coming out across the board here. Interestingly enough, we're seeing a McHale's first from Craft, and there is a dive forming on this bot side. Handshake onto the Sejuani. Hook does miss. Kassadin was on his way down as well, but luckily for Celestial Twilight, all the CC misses and they can hold this tower just for a little bit longer.
I think I like what the Michaels does there for Cat, because he has gone for the barrier. It's just going to allow him to have that extra bit of safety against Thresh hooks or Sejuani ultimates. You know, just give him that little bit of extra. You know, feeling of like, okay, I can go in, I still have a little bit of safety next to me. That's wow.
Look how low this tower is as well. Sejuani is on the top side, but we saw how this went last time Sejuani was here. They tried to 2v1 the Poppy, and Bessa got solo killed in that fight. The one shining light for SPX right now, I will say, as the first tower does go down to the Poppy, is that they do have the first two dragons already secured. They aren't going to be worrying about Celestial Twilight using this lead they have on the Poppy to get more done, as Stevo finds the Thresh. Craft is in a bit of trouble here. Nice handshake to buy himself a bit of space, but that was a lot of damage that came out.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. However, I believe that, yeah, the bot lane from Celestial Twilight are going to be resetting. You know, we don't have a Drake for another 2 minutes, so we have really nothing to play for on the map, so they can safely recall. As Luna here using that W really effectively to survive all of this Kassadin poke, as Wizard now is making his way over to mid lane. You know, that's enabled from this power. If that ult hits, yeah, if that ult hits, that's probably a dead Kassadin. The problem is that ult missed, and luckily for Luna, it's going to be up.
Only hits the Thresh, but it might look like the Thresh is probably going to get picked off here. Stunned and picked up by this area. The person you probably wanted that kill to go over dashes over to the wall, tries to slow down with Sejuani, and deals a decent chunk of damage. No neutral objectives up, so we're just trading 2 ults for a Thresh kill, and potentially this bot lane tower as well.
I think it's going to be the bot lane turret as well, because they are going to create a numbers advantage here for Twilight, and Twilight have silently accumulated a 4,000 gold lead. Might become even 5,000 once this turret goes down. Oh, excuse me.
Hey, bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, 4.5k gold lead. We have about the 1,500 gold lead on Tet. We have a 2,000 gold lead in the top lane, and Stevo, who is a little bit of an unsung hero, also has a 1,200 gold lead in the jungle as well. So, the main damage dealers of this team have a gold advantage. Have the gold advantage here. So you don't really care if Luna is a little bit behind, because once she gets to those enchanter items, or once she builds up a few items, it's not going to matter, because the shields are going to be effective. The ultimate is still going to charm everyone. Not if it misses, but you know, it's still going to be effective.
Drake spawning in right now as Craft drives the Rift Herald into the wall. Still no hostile takeover though, so not at their full strength. Good handshake putting the Kassadin into the Sejuani. And they're just trying to siege up a little bit here, maybe trying to buy some time and space for the Poppy to arrive and for them to get the cooldowns back up. Zeri ult back up now, and we're very, very close for hostile takeover to come up. As Forby goes in for a bit of damage onto this Zeri.
I think Forby took more damage from the Poppy than...
Onto the Poppy. And that is still a Poppy, so it was a nice hook. It is a nice chunk of damage, and it looks like SPX are going to trade one Drake for the mid lane outer turret. Not a bad trade, to be honest.
Yeah, not a bad trade. It is going to go down. I don't think Wizard can do anything about it unless he tries to use the Poppycopter, which he won't. So it's just going to be the Drake. The danger here, though, is SPX can really convert onto this Otacon and try to burst it down, which I don't think they are going to start now. They just seem they just want to go back, as Wizard is going to find Castiel here in this river.
These two tanky boys going at each other. Not much going to happen. You say that they could look for the Otacon here. I think the Otacon's a bit of a bait when you're playing into Seraphine's center. Public Execution misses though. Hostile Takeover comes out, does only land onto Thresh again. So they aren't going to find anything much. Hook comes down onto the... Oh, it's a big charm! Nice play. Down goes Thresh. But Forby is kind of rinsing this backline. Stevo does get the stun down. Aggo is going to fall down next on the Ambessa, and what looked like a very decent fight to start off with was turned immediately by the Encore. And Celestial Twilight do very well to maintain their lead, maintain their pressure, and pick up this mid lane tier 2 as well.
Yeah, they are going to pick up the mid lane tier 2, and now with a couple of members down there, 3 members down on the side of SPX, they can probably go turn for the Otacon themselves. They're not going to do it. They're just going to take Castiel's jungle. Stevo with a 40 CS lead, basically 10 camp lead in the jungle here, and it's now almost a 6.5k gold lead for the side of Twilight here. And yes, 4B did take down Luna, did get the Seraphine, but guess what? The Poppy is alive. The Volibear is alive. Cat is still alive on this Zeri to deal all of the damage, and Luna already did her job. Got him Ulti-Man Charm, managed to use an empowered W to get shields off, and even though she's going for the AP build, you know, that AP still gives you a lot of shielding and a lot of healing.
Yeah, and they are going to posture around this Otacon here. I don't quite like it. Maybe they are just trying to get the top lane tier 2, set up some vision in this top side. But you're right, they managed to pick Luna in that fight. Ket kind of cool here, does manage to dash over the wall. They did manage to pick Luna in that fight, but Luna pressed the button that mattered before she died and got a fantastic encore off onto most of the members of SPX. Look at the damage this Kassadin does. How do you answer this as Seraphine? You do not. You just get bullied and die.
Luna really needed to use her ultimate there and get 4B on their turret, and then try to use the empowered W. She does not get to do that, as 4B starts taking turret shots anyway. Doesn't need to get charmed to do that, and Twilight are going to use this opportunity because they see the most powerful, actually the only member on SPX to have kills is on bot lane, so they use that chance to take the Otacon. So in the end, good death by Luna.
Yeah, it really is 4B's Kassadin versus the world right now. Really does need to 1v9 this game. Obviously, Corki is doing a lot of damage himself, but not picking up any of the kills hasn't really been accelerated into this game. It's 2.5 items on the Zeri, and just Corki's only just finished his second item. Obviously, he is buying slightly more expensive items, but you know, Ket still has this coal to sell as well, so he has an injection of gold in the back pocket to get even further ahead on items.
Yeah, he has an extra Zephyr. It's a 2,000 gold lead for the side of Ket there. It's so...
crazy gold leads in every position. The one place that the SPX have a lead is on this Kassadin, obviously, as you would expect. But yeah, the gold difference every other role is kind of crazy right now.
Yeah, but you can't really expect the Kassadin to kill everyone there. Especially not if Wizard goes up against this Kassadin, which is not going to be the case because Wizard is on 3 items himself. I do think that Wizard can probably tank out a lot of this damage and then just dish back so much. As this Kassadin is going for the Malignant start, yes, so it is going to be the Malignant. So this is a nice power spike for the Kassadin. I think he's about to hit 16 very soon as well. So this is probably one of the most powerful points where Kassadin starts to feel extremely powerful and dangerous.
He is very close to 16, by the way. He just hit 16. Wizard kind of cool here, gets the dash away onto Sejuani. He's gonna get stunned, and then flash over the wall, bonk the Sejuani away, and now Thresh is alone here in the jungle. Craft is gonna arrive, misses the handshake. There's a good flash by the Thresh, and now Sejuani trying to save his support is gonna get caught up, has to blow the ultimate down onto Stevo. It's a lot of damage coming down to him from the Zeri. Thresh is still dying on this top side, and Forby's just basing, letting his support die. Wow. 2 members of his team die, and he's just gonna sit top lane and literally watch it happen. And that's probably Baron.
Yeah, 4B and Onti really said, you guys got into this mess, you guys are getting out of it. And they didn't get out, and that means with the jungler down, it's going to be the Baron coming over. The Drake also went down, and Cliff, I do have to say, it was a much better early game from Twilight. You know, the mid game they played really well after 14 minutes on, and in this game, even with how strong they played the early game, they're having a really good mid to late game as well. You know, not Luna, but you know, it's expected in this matchup.
Celestial and Twilight looking to stop the push on this bot side. 4B is going to be in a bit of trouble here. Flash forward, Stevo gets the stun down onto the Corki, and he's going to ult down to put a lot of damage down. Hostile takeover comes in to stop him. Stun comes over onto the Kassadin. Bailout not enough, but there's the hostile takeover. It's a lot of damage that comes down. Corki's picked up, and Bess is going to be next on the chopping block. Kassadin does manage to escape with his life, but sacrifices 2 of his teammates to do it. They overstay for that bot lane tier 2, give up 2 kills and a lot of pressure for it, and they only take the Baron off of 1 member of Celestial Twilight. And now it's Baron buffed Celestial Twilight in a 4v3 situation. I couldn't do maths for a second then. And it does look like they're going to be able to pick up the tier 2 on the bot side.
Wizard playing it very smartly, you know, knows he can cut off the Kassadin there, and this Kassadin is really the only big point of damage here because this Corki needs the Infinity Edge. He really needs to build up some damage, you know, something to just get him towards this power spike that comes in. Whereas you have Ket with already 3 items completed and the Last Whisper, you know, going towards that Lord Doms or Mortal Reminder, depending on what you get. You have 3 items on Wizard, who's already halfway through the 4th item, and Luna has started going for that more supportive build, and so it's really going down to 4B getting a lot of damage.
On the top side, on her own drugs. Kassadin gets a lot of damage. The hostile takeover is so good. Bailout is going to be enough to save Craft. Yes, it is. Craft is saved. It is a charm that comes through a little bit short, but 3 members of SPX are down. The 4th gets caught in the Thresh, and Celestial and Twilight are running over this game, and this Kassadin was so far ahead, he was so strong, he was so fed, and he just hasn't done anything for the last 10 minutes.
He really hasn't, you know, after getting that 6th kill, 4B really has been sort of quiet on the map, really not going for picks, not going for anything. Let's go in now.
Shook and traded over, and that is going to be the game going over to Celestial Twilight. A not so clean 2-0, but it is still a 2-0. Celestial Twilight pick up the first seed in Division 2.
Yeah, the win streak continues. No Celestial team has lost a game.
Lost the series. You
Sorry,
have
lost the series.
games.
Lost the series. Yeah, lost the series. That my bad. But yeah, I mean, just looking at it here, it was a really nicely played game number 2 from the side of Celestial. You know, even Luna, who went down a bunch of times to the Kassadin, still had some amazing ultimates there in the team fights, and I think I have to give a lot of props there to Ket for managing to carry after getting fed, but also Stevo on this Volderberg, just stealing so many camps, being so useful on the map, making a lot of picks, making a lot of catches, just a lot of good rotations.
Yeah, it was a really good early game as well, coming out of Wizard, getting that 5-0 start to the game, really securing a strong side of the map for his team, giving Stevo something to play through as well. Ghost, we got an interview lined up. Are you ready for me to drag them in?
Yes, please.
Okay, we will just drag them in right now. We're going to be joined by Luna and by Ket, the mid laner and the ADC from Celestial Twilight. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, it's nice to get another 2-0 after so many 2-1s.
A quick 2-0 woke up like that. We chillin'.
woke up like casting a quick 2-0, and it did happen. You know, I knocked on wood, Luna. I have a quick. I have my first question is, how did that game 1 feel for you guys after you came back into the game?
Like a true crime podcast. That shit was a heist of all time. We did not deserve to win it. It's the second week in a row we've had a game we don't deserve to win. We need to tighten up, but you know what? I'm not going to fucking complain.
A W is a W.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Whose Nami's better?
Craft. Don't even try, bro.
You're capping.
No, bro.
You're capping.
Bro, I had to play against Unti, that's why, like, your Nami looks so much better, bro.
No, in all seriousness, the the picks coming in for game 2 maybe a little bit concerning with how well that Kassadin R5 pick did in the mid against you, Luna. Were either of you concerned? Because obviously both of you are playing squishy champions. So once that Kassadin gets rolling, you are like joint target number 1 for him. What were you guys thinking?
I mean, I don't think it's a huge concern for Ket, because Ket's got double enchanter at his back. I think for me and Craft, we have to be a bit more scary, but we picked, like, my audio died. I was given options and then my audio died, so I was like, pick whatever you think is best. We picked the Seraphine. It's like, yeah, I'm not getting to play the game in lane, but like, if we can get out of lane without him being incredibly fed and with having a lead somewhere else, he doesn't really get to exist. Because even if he is on the backline trying to kill me and Craft, we have enough survivability between us plus damage from Ket to make sure that we just kill him and turn to the rest of the fight.
Yeah, we were talking about... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think, like, our comp was just really good into Kassadin, like, no matter if he gets fed. Like, he can't get through Volibear, Poppy, Renata, Revive, a barrier, a flash, a Zeri ult. So it's kind of like impossible. He can be 17-0, and I don't think he kills anyone, to be honest.
Yeah, we saw there a little bit in the mid game where he was getting a couple of kills there onto Luna, but it was already after Luna would hit a multi-man charm there, so Luna was still being useful there. And I think at any point in the game, once you saw that Wizard was getting really fed, were you just thinking, okay, Wizard took over another game, it's going to be smooth sailing? Or were you just like, were you trying to get into a little bit of a competitive mode, maybe just to see if you guys could get to wizard level of Fed.
I think we just we're fed. We go kill them all. Like we don't really care who gets the kills.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention if anyone else on the team is getting Giga fed, because at the end of the day, as fed as they are, one mistake from me could still completely fuck the game over. So, well, Wizard getting fed was nice, and like we were kind of a bit more confident for it. I think letting it kind of influence how confident we are individually is a bit futile. We kind of just have to trust that Wizard can do the right thing with it, and then make sure that we are doing the right things to support him and allow our carries into the game.
Yeah, it's a smart way to think about it. So I don't exactly know the schedule going forward for Division 2, but obviously you guys have now secured first seed in your group. I assume that means you're playing the fourth seed in the other group?
We're playing Nice Arc. We're playing Nice Arc.
Nice Arc,
You're
100%.
playing Nice Arc. So it's already locked in that you're playing Nice Arc.
Yeah, they can't go above fourth, and they can't drop below fourth either, I believe, based on standings.
And I assume that game's next week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so next week, next Thursday, going up against a Nice Arc. What do you guys think? How do you think it's going to go?
Wait, I need to look into the camera for this one. Meat, if you're watching, I'm gonna own you, you little bitch. We're gonna 2-0 you real quick.
No. God.
That's fair. Luna, how about yourself?
No comment.
No comments.
I cannot portray weakness.
Okay. All right, well, guys, honestly, fantastic games today. Game 1 bit shaky in the early game, but you did manage to pull it around. And Game 2 kind of just looked like a very solid performance all across the board. Was a pleasure to cast, and thank you everybody for tuning in today to watch. We've been Celestial Esports. Tune in on Monday to watch Celestial Light play I don't know who, because I'm a very, very good and organized team owner, but it will definitely be Celestial Light on cast on Monday.
Do something.
Oh yeah, the French team playing against the French team. So everybody come here and cheer for anybody that isn't French. And yeah, that'll be Monday, 7 p.m. on this channel. I hope you guys have had a fantastic evening. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Good night, everyone.
like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat.